Somebody call his mama, didn't Tyrus is coming home. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and it's all over for Tyrus, aka the man formerly known as Brodus Clay, aka the big fat dude that used to dance on Raw with two chicks that thought they were dinosaurs. The Funkadactyls, the big fat man, the guy that stole the Cats theme song from WCW.
Goddamn right he did.
The cat Ernest Miller.
That's what they say.
Ernest Miller, yes, it's
Ernest
all done.
the Cat Miller, what a guy.
Who was better, Brodus Clay or Ernest the Cat Miller?
Ernest the Cat Miller, he knew karate and all that shit.
Did it work for him? CM Punk knew karate and he got his ass kicked in MMA.
He had a good theme.
He did have a good theme. Brodus Clay stole it, but Brodus Clay won't be using it anymore because he has lost. And not only has he lost, he has to retire because he took part on the NWA 75th anniversary show on Sunday night. It was for the NWA World Heavyweight title and he lost to none other than EC3 Ethan Carter III. And the stipulation in the match was Tyrus must retire from wrestling if he lost. Now, Tyrus held the title for 289 days. This has been considered like a really long title reign, but in comparison to like Roman Reigns, it seems like a 2-week stint. But either way, Tyrus is no longer the champion. And according to the stipulation, he is no longer wrestling. Now, credit to EC3. I think EC3 had a great gimmick. When you look at this guy in TNA coming in as the nephew of Dixie Carter, Ethan Carter III in his theme song, it just looked like a great character. And we don't really get great characters anymore, but this EC3 thing really worked for him in TNA.
No, it really did, and I liked EC3 and TNA, and WWE dropped the ball big time with him. And you know what, I'm going to go on a limb here. See EC3 against Tyrus, bull rope match, career on the line, title, NWA title. That's better than fucking MJF Adam Cole. Sounds better, was better. I mean, what, two bum chums taking each other on the main event? What actually, career on the line, 75th anniversary, big title match. Two big guys.
The only problem is Tyrus can't wrestle more than a minute without blowing up and gassing, but apart from that, I mean, it is better. Either way, EC3 has won. He is the new champ. Tyrus will be leaving the company. I believe that is him done. I don't think he's going to go anywhere else. If you look at the guy in the ring, I think it's clear to see that he doesn't really have it anymore. Now, I'm not saying he ever really had it, but you know, I think wrestling maybe taking its toll on him. I'm not too sure what age Tyrus is, but
I think he's like 46.
When you're carrying all that weight, then yeah, I don't think you're going to last as long as a guy that's actually in shape. So, I mean, good news for EC3 is he's world champ now, and maybe he can have a good run. The bad news is nobody really watches NWA. I mean, I've tried it a few times, NWA Power, but it's trying to be 80s, 70s wrestling, but we're in 2023 here. And it's just, I don't think this can work.
No.
I think you can do the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era in 2023, but you can't, I don't know, when they're just trying to go too far back in time.
No, they are, but it's just the problem they've went with something, and I think if you did like a Lucha Underground sort of presentation, you could maybe get it like that, but part of it almost does feel like it's modern rather than... It's like a mix and it doesn't work for me. I feel like Lucha Underground actually felt like a TV show rather than current wrestling Lucha Libre.
Yeah, whereas NWA Power just seems like a new take on 70s and 80s wrestling. But...
And not in the ring, it's like the Price is Right.
Well, in this case, the price is wrong. I just don't like the setup with NWA Power. You got the audience, the commentary, the interviewer. After the match, they literally just roll out the ring and have an interview at ringside. And I say ringside's about 2 feet because everything's just compact. It's all like squashed in together like some talk show. Everything feels like it's in like one little building. It's never in an arena. It's never in a stadium. It's just in like this little room and they're all packed in like sardines. I know what they were going for, but I personally just never really liked the setup of NWA Power. But speaking of not liking, it turns out Lance Storm doesn't like Tyrus, and he has called him out, and he went as far as saying, fuck that guy. He doesn't like Brodus Clay.
He doesn't like Brodus Clay. Is that due to political beliefs? I'm going to put that down to that, because we know Tyrus is pro-Trump, and Lance Storm, I can definitely say he's not pro-Trump. I think that's safe to say.
I think it's fair to say Lance Storm is un-American.
Very true. He's a Canadian.
He's a Canadian. But
it's safe to say he's up Justin Trudeau's ass.
Last week, we had Brodus Clay on Fox News on the Gutfield show. Brodus Clay said that if his kids came home and told him that their pronouns were he, they, him, then Brodus Clay would reply, my pronoun is ass whooping. And then he would be in detention alongside his kids.
What a line.
And that he would bring cake.
Bring cake, he is fat.
the guests on stage all laughed at this, but Lance Storm didn't like it. He then got a clip of this and he tweeted it on his Twitter, which is at Lance Storm, or X as you call it nowadays. Thank you, Elon Musk. He says, let me put it this way, as politely as I can. Fuck this guy. And then he ended the sentence with a picture of a rainbow flag. He then replied to his own reply, saying, people stirring this kind of hate leads to people getting killed, and everyone on this show is just laughing. So Lance Storm here is almost like he's not doubling down, he's not like completely calling him out, but he's kind of saying that Tyrus is responsible for people dying, which I think
just because Lance Storm's pronouns are boring bastard doesn't mean fucking everyone else has to abide to that.
But yeah, no, I mean, is Brodus Clay really saying that if his kid came and says to my pronouns are he then his would be ass whipping, and Lance Storm's linking this guy to people dying? It's a bit far-fetched, isn't it?
No, I mean, it's completely... But come on, I don't want to turn into the political debate because YouTube will hoover things off us, but come on, Tyrus here, he's making light of the situation. But
and I highly doubt he's going to he's going to whip his kid's ass. Like,
that's not, yeah.
It's a figure of speech.
It means he's going to set him straight, literally.
Aye. It's not like he's going to start pulling out steel chairs and trash cans and start battering his son because he said, my pronouns are he, him. But Lance Storm's obviously took that figuratively, and it's like...
better than mutilating fucking kids, isn't it, on the other side?
Well, there you go. So yeah, Lance Storm...
Fuck you, buddy.
Un-American in his WWE run, and he's
just because someone mutilated his fucking charisma, he still took it bad, man. Fuck him.
The burns are on Lance Storm, but we had Billy Corgan also come out a few months ago and said, if you don't like watching Tyrus, then you're not a fan of wrestling.
Lance Storm mustn't be a fan of wrestling.
Yeah, Corgan came out and said, if you're not a fan of Tyrus, then you're not a wrestling fan.
Well, there you go. Billy Corgan, the Smashing Pumpkins, 1979. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah, remember that song, GTA 4? No? Anyone? No. Anyone? No one knows it? Well, you know what? I don't mind Tyrus, but that just because you don't like a certain wrestler doesn't not... I'll disagree with him. There's a lot of people I don't like that some people like. It's not that I don't like Tyrus, I just don't feel anything negative or positive. In the wrestling sense, I like the fact, he voices these opinions are similar to mine, but in terms of a wrestler, he's fucking shite. I'm sorry to burst his bubble. He's a fat guy.
Just a fat guy who wants to eat cake.
That's pretty much it.
Anyway, guys, that is it. Let us know down below, what do you think of Tyrus's run in professional wrestling? Do you enjoy NWA? Do you agree with Tyrus's political stance? And I wouldn't even call that a political stance. I don't think Tyrus not taking that bullshit for his kids, I wouldn't say that's political.
No.
It's not a political issue.
Shouldn't be a political issue, it should just be his own...
Common sense, really, isn't it, as a parent? To
his personal opinion.
To set your kids straight, but Lance Storm thinks he's a bad guy. Let us know what you think down below, guys. We'll catch you in the next one, and of course, until then, Beanfog Wrestling, peace.